I gotta fix my camera, by the way. Hey, welcome back into Out of Bounds as we now do the prediction show for the two remaining games left. I am your host, Todd Fox, with the other host of the show,
Carlos,
a.k.a.
Rick Davis, bitch.
and spinning the ones and twos, DJ
Walter,
with the bat.
you better like and subscribe or else I'm going to break your kneecaps.
There you go. He's going full-blooded Italian on everybody. Let's get into the championship freaking weekend of games slated for Sunday.
49ers all the way.
First game starts at 12 between the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, we talked about what happened with Dallas. Dallas completely played, to me, and you said it as well, the Cowboys more lost that game than the Niners won that game. Now, the fan aspect, the matchup predictor is predicting the Eagles to win this game 65% to 34%. The Cowboys, the Eagles are 2.5-point favorites at home. It'll be 37 degrees, cloudy with maybe a chance of rain, so that could play a part in this one. Tickets are going as low as $555.
That's it, huh? Just half a dozen, or as the kids say, as a street thug say, going half a band.
Exactly. And real quick before I get your take on this game, and I'll give mine after, that's the 49er effect. The 49ers fans, when they're losing, they're not so faithful. But when they're winning, goddamn, you better be right there faithful, and they're there, and they show up, and they will drive the price up on the road. I've seen it with my Seahawks, with other teams. When they go to other stadiums, that ticket price goes way up. So Niners at Philadelphia. It comes down to this for the NFC. Who do you got and why?
Well, you're gonna make me pick first, and well, I mean, it's not gonna get any easier because then you're probably gonna say some stuff that's gonna make me waffle even harder. Man, this one's honestly such a close game to me in my eyes. I picked against the Niners in both games that they've played, and they've won. They've won. I didn't think that they were gonna continue the hot streak that they're on. The Eagles, I picked them last week because it was easy to pick them against the Giants. It was really, really simple to pick against the Giants, considering how they got into the playoffs and who they beat in the first round in the wild card. But this one goes to I like the front seven of the 49ers better than I do the Eagles front seven. But I think that the Eagles have a really good offensive line. I've heard that they've got the number one offensive line in all of football. Home field isn't going to matter. The 49ers have gone into tough environments and won on the road. It doesn't matter, man. Last year they were what, one play away from making it to the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for, you said, a bad referee blown car or something. But yeah, the 49ers they're inching so much closer. But the one thing that keeps coming up in my head when I want to pick the 49ers is that the 49ers are like I keep saying, the Buffalo Bills, the Dallas Cowboys, they've got these tendencies in the playoffs where they're repetitive and they keep losing when the lights get brighter. And it's happened for the 49ers. They've knocked off Aaron Rodgers like how many years in a row. They were so close to getting to the Super Bowl last year, and then they were really close to winning the Super Bowl against the Chiefs if it wasn't for that one throw. So with this one, I think that Deebo Samuel can get neutralized as long as James Bradbury follows him around, and then you let Slay take care of Ayuk. But then George Kittle is a main concern right there, and then you also got Christian McCaffrey. So it's going to be really tough, man. I picked against the 49ers two times in a row, and they've proven me wrong. So you know what? You can't beat them. You join them. I'm going with the 49ers in this one. I think that it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I feel like the 49ers got a really good defense, and I think they're gonna make Jalen Hurts beat them with his arm, and where they're gonna really see if his shoulder is really up to par. AJ Brown hasn't been looking the same. And, it's going to be to me, it's going to be a low scoring game, similar to the Cowboys and the 49ers. But yeah, I'm going to go with the red and gold, man. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
See, and that's the thing. That's why I wanted you to go first. I wanted to get your take because I'm thinking about this like with the Niners and Kaepernick, right? When they had Kaepernick, I kept thinking that year when they got to the Super Bowl, all right, someone's going to knock him off. He's a flash in the pan. Yeah, like right now they haven't figured him out. Someone's going to knock him off. Someone's going to knock him off. And it just he kept progressing, and he beat the Packers. He got to the Super Bowl. And then finally the Ravens give him a comeuppance. And the only reason why I think that game got close is we all know the power outage in New Orleans. But for the most part, when it comes to NFL championship games, it's not always the most flashiest quarterback that gets it done. It's always, it always depends on the quarterback, but it depends on a guy who you can trust. And what's one thing I've said all year, like the Niners have had a great team. And I thought if you give me Jimmy G versus this Eagles team, I think Jimmy G beats the Eagles. And Brock Purdy is very capable of doing it, which is weird for me to say because with the Eagles, you know me all season, man. I've been like not believing the hype every week when they're like 10-1, when they were like 8-0 or whatever they were. I was like, nah, the wheels are gonna fall off at some point. At some point they're gonna fall apart. But the more and more I've watched them, again, they didn't play that great against the Giants, but they still beat them by 31. And their front seven is good. You mentioned their corners are good.
Yeah.
They've got good receivers. They've got the number one offensive line. I mean, Jalen Hurts is hardly touched back there unless he runs into a defensive lineman or a linebacker on a big run. If he's able to split that defense, which I don't think he can because the Niners' front seven is better. Their corners are not that great. But man, the front seven makes those corners that are average much better.
Great.
Yeah, and that's how Seattle won their games and their run because their front seven was so good, it made the LOB who was already good extremely good. So this game's very hard for me to pick, but it just I'm contradicting myself. But it's like my girl says, I'm the king of contradictions. I'm going to go with the Eagles, a team that, I haven't believed in all year.
Tell me you're biased without telling me. Tell me you want to say screw the 49ers without telling me. Tell me you want to rub it in all the 49ers' faces without telling me.
Dude, I so want to rub it in the 49ers' face, dude. Like, I can't tell you not, man. I mean, like, this shit needs to stop already. I'm waiting for them to fall apart, man. And fuck, they're just not doing it. And there's a lot of star power in this game too, man. I mean, if you thought there was a lot of star power with the Cowboys Niners, now the Cowboys Eagles, this is a big football game. So, I just think, in my heart of hearts, I really don't know what's going to happen. Because the wild cards are taking the snap. You got one guy, Hurts, who has all the ability. He's proven it over this season that he can get it done, but he doesn't have a big resume other than this season. But the Eagles are more, if you think about it, the more trustworthy team. But then you look at the Niners, and Purdy's been undefeated, and he's getting the job done at Mr. Irrelevant, and they've got the team. So, fuck, dude, I don't know, man.
The money line, I was listening to the radio earlier. The money line started at what? It was like 2.5 points or 3 points with the Eagles. And then all the 49er, not fans, but people that wanted to win money, they were like, oh yeah, we're going to take the 49ers. So everybody started pouring in money to favor the 49ers. And I think it's up to as close as it went back. It went down to like a point favoring the Eagles, and now it's back up to 2.5 points. So I mean, it's basically a pick'ems game. Honestly,
it is.
That's why me and you are like so drawn in this game, and we don't know what's going to happen. And it doesn't matter if this game was in Philadelphia or in San Francisco. It honestly doesn't matter. Because the way the 49ers are built, they're built for cold weather. They're like a cold weather team that plays in a warm city. They've got everything you could ask for in a great team to actually win it. If you think about it, I think that they would be a terrible matchup for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that this year the 49ers can do it, beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But it'll just be tough. I could just go into like all those directions of how the 49ers can match up against the Bengals, how they can match up against the Chiefs, but it'll take too much time. So I'm gonna just keep it with that right there.
No, I mean I get it because it's one of those things where it's like, it can go either way. It's like you said, they're really even. We could mess around and say, okay, the last week's game with the Cowboys, they're really even. Nah, this one, these are the two best teams in the NFC. The Niners maybe not all year, but it feels like they've been the best all year. And the Eagles have been the best all year. So
Yeah, and this is the number one defense and the number two defense on display right here. So whoever wins this one goes into the Super Bowl with the best ranked defense because the Bengals and the Chiefs don't got nowhere near the type of defense that the Eagles or the 49ers have. So keep that in mind. And James brings up a great point. He says that the 49ers haven't played a road game in forever.
that's true. Over under on this game is 46. Do you think it's over or you think it's under?
It's
Twenty
gonna
four
be
21. I think they're spot on. I think that, yeah, they're right because honestly, like, that's a field goal game right there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But keep in mind, Robbie Gold, and then I'm not sure who the kicker is for the Philadelphia Eagles. You got to think about the Eagles kicker. I can't remember the last time he actually got put out there for like a 40, 50 yarder. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can bang those. But we all know Robbie Gold played with the Chicago Bears, so I want to say he's still comfortable in the cold environment, but we're going to see because it's going to come down to a field goal.
Yeah, and I can't stand the fact that they got that fool is still kicking at the level he's kicking for the Niners.
He looks so old, huh? He looks like he should be a dishwasher at a hole in the wall restaurant,
Oh yeah, or
huh?
a manager. Now check this out. I'm putting this on the screen right here. I don't know if you
uh
can see it, but here's the tickets right here. The ticket prices. You got them as right here, mid right here, $1,500 tickets for 50-yard
Jesus.
line, and so that's pretty damn crazy. And then
15 for 4 tickets?
yeah, or for one ticket, 1,500. You have tickets ranging from $576 to $13,000 being the highest ticket.
I can see it on my phone screen right here. Yeah, I see the prices are ridiculous.
That's
Yeah, for
crazy.
$1,500, you know what else you could do? You could watch the game on a nice projected screen. You could just go and rent a projector, and you can be in your nice home and all that. But man, if for Eagles fans that like if the Eagles win this game and go to the Super Bowl, I think it's worth paying that type of money. Like I think it's worth it.
Yeah, and they've actually did a good job. They've gotten to the Super Bowl not too long ago and won. They didn't do it with McNabb, but they won it. With
Nick Foles
with Nick Foles, so they got
or
that.
your favorite quarterback, the redhead Carson Wentz.
Yeah, that fucker has a ring. Can you believe that? That's crazy.
Yeah, it
My
just goes
pick
to
is
show you that not
49ers.
everybody deserves a ring, right?
Yeah. So,
Not the Vikings.
oh geez, here we go.
Hey man, one day maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Here's all right. Here
5
now we
years.
now we move on to the AFC Championship game, and the AFC Championship game is going to focus in on the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bengals finished the year 12-4, winning their 13th game here in the postseason. The Chiefs finished 14-3, winning their 15th in the postseason. The consensus by the fans is 65% to 34. So much like the Niners being the road dogs, the fans are going with a home team in this one. They think the Chiefs. It's going to be a Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl. The line in this one is closer than people think, and it might be because of Mahomes' ankle. But 1.5-point favorites are the Chiefs at home. The over/under is 48. It's going to be 35 degrees with a chance of rain mixed in with some snow because it'll be evening time. And then you've got tickets going as low as $173, $173, which is good.
That sounds like such a breeze compared to $500.
Yes.
That sounds like you're just paying for the taxes at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and subscribe, or else I'm about to take your kneecaps again.
There you go. But $173 is not bad for a freaking AFC Championship game. Even if you're sitting where Jordan Love's parents were, that's not a bad ticket.
Dude, honestly, if that was what do you call it? If I was a fan of one of those teams and I lived within 100 miles, I would definitely go to that game, man. I would definitely go to that game. 100 for basically you said it was 170 something dollars.
Mm-hmm.
and that's before Texas. So you're basically going to be paying $200 a pop. I would definitely talk to my nephews about that one. I'll be like, at least one of you has to go with me, man. I don't want to go by myself, but I would definitely go and encourage my nephew. I'll be like, look, I'll cover half of your ticket. But if I was a fan of either one of those teams, or whether they were a fan of one of those teams, I'd be like, dude, we're gonna go. Like, this is a championship game. This is the closest we're gonna ever get to a Super Bowl. Like, we gotta go.
Conspiracy theory: Carlos is changing his team.
No, he's just trying to go to a game. And you go to a game to watch, freaking yeah. Well, you can go to.
It's for the experience, Walt. When it's nothing to do with having to pick a team. It's just I went to a Baltimore Ravens Cleveland Browns game on Saturday night primetime game. It was cold.
Sorry, go ahead. What the hell that was?
I was just telling them I went to that Browns Ravens primetime game like about a month ago, and man, it was an awesome experience, man. It was awesome. Even though neither one of those teams made it this far, it was still a great time, man. So just going to an NFL game in general is so worth it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, man. It's an experience. You want to get out there and watch a game. You want to see new talent instead of just your team all the time. Mix it up a little bit.
Not only that, but tickets are really, really dirt cheap for Cleveland Browns, man. If anybody ever wants to go to any Cleveland Brown games, you can buy tickets for like $7, $12 a pop, man.
Yeah.
Wait, how much is for the Raiders game?
Raiders game? I'm not. Oh, they just built that stadium, so you're gonna be looking at a nice penny right there.
Yeah, they're expensive. They're not cheap.
I mean the Rams game.
You gotta wait until the Raiders stadium has been up for like at least 10 years for those prices. Plus, they play in Las Vegas too. I could only imagine what those tickets cost.
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder how much is the Rams.
It's gonna be the same thing, Walt. It's in downtown LA. Parking. You gotta think about all that parking costs and all that.
The parking costs way more than the ticket, dude.
Yeah. Whoever made the parking, I'm gonna beat your kneecaps.
Okay, get him with the kneecaps. But here's the thing, Carlos. Who do you favor in this one? Because right now, Joe Burrow, your guy that you love hearing about, he's 3-0 against the Chiefs. What do you think is going to happen this Sunday? Are we going to see Jackson Mahomes dancing in the end zone, celebrating a Super Bowl, and possibly trying to get Mel attention for the Super Bowl? Or do you think the Bengals celebrate with cigars?
Cigars. I'm going Bengals, baby. I'm going Bengals. I'm going too much for the Chiefs defense to worry about, man. That dude, Steve Spagnuolo. What's his name? Steve Spagnuolo. I don't know what the defensive coordinator is, but the name is. He used to be the coordinator for the Giants. I want to say
Spagnolia.
Yes, it's Spagnolia. I want to say that's the guy's name, and Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator. Brother, and for a long, long day. I don't care if it's in Cincinnati or if it's in Kansas City. Dude, think about it like this. Joe Burrow, man, I know I'm going to regret this in about, like, at this time next week when after the Bengals eliminate the Chiefs, I'm going to regret this statement, but because of, ESPN, everybody's going to be all over Joe Burrow's jock and all that. Dude, I'm literally telling you, you're looking at the face of the NFL. You're looking at the best quarterback. You're looking at the guy that's going to be there for the next 10 to 15 years. The dude's got it all. Like, you just basically said it all in the last show, Todd. He's got the swag. And they also called him what all Americans are. Like, he's got that cool demeanor. All the ladies want him. All the dudes want to be like him. He's got that confidence that everybody needs. Like, it's just Joe Burrow is just everything that anybody could ever want to be in life, and he's young too. And he's taking a team that didn't have nothing before him, like for like 30, 40, 50, maybe since existence. And now he's taking them to back-to-back Super Bowls and beating the best quarterback, best player in the NFL, MVP. Like, dude, get out of here. Joe Burrow is like the real deal. And I know in a few weeks I'm going to start hating the Bengals because I'm going to get sick and tired of hearing about the Bengals nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, they literally – the Bengals hadn't been anything since '86 with Boomer Esiason. So you're looking 26 years, almost 30 years of futility. So the fact that and you could say they had those Carson Palmer years, but the Steelers were always their daddy. And Joe Burrow can blast through the Steelers like no other Bengal quarterback I've seen. Because even back in the day, Boomer couldn't beat the Steelers, and that's with a Bubby Brister and loser quarterbacks on those squads. So this is something else, man. The Bengals could be your next big thing. The Chiefs, whether Mahomes is healthy or not, they are dangerous. But my thing is their defense is very unpredictable. Sometimes they can be really good. Other times you're like, damn, they can't get a stop right now. And Mahomes has to pull it out of his ass, and he's saved that defense numerous times. So the way that the defense is playing for the Bengals, I have to give the nod also to the Houday. And
Who doesn't beat those Bengals?
Yeah, my prediction, dude, for the Super Bowl is Bengals Eagles.
Bengals Eagles.
I'm going.
My prediction is Bengals 40.
What year was it when the Bengals and the 49ers met where the 49ers dropped like 50 on the Bengals? Was that like 88 or 89 or something like that?
No, it was 86, and they lost on the last second touchdown. The Niners beat the Bengals 20-16.
20-16. It's a rematch from that one. I'm going Bengals and 49ers, man.
Dude, that one, if you guys ever want to see a great Super Bowl, watch that one. Because the Bengals had a 16-13 lead. They punted the Niners to their 8-yard line. And I think there was just over 3 minutes left, and Joe Montana brought them down the field. And they were in the red zone, and Montana tried to get it to Rice. And the Bengals player it was 88. I'm sorry, it was 88. James says 89. No, 89 season was when they destroyed the Broncos. 88, it was the 88 season. Boomer was on the sideline, and he was about ready to celebrate because the Bengals cornerback dropped an interception. Like Montana would have lost his first Super Bowl. That ball he threw went right through the dude's hands, and he dropped it. And the very next play, Montana hits Taylor for the game-winning touchdown. 30 seconds left. That was it. But dude, the Bengals gave them all they could handle that game. So.
Would it not be a trip? Would it not be a trip if things got reversed and the Bengals returned the favor and beat the Niners 20-16? The same scenario, the Niners drop in. Dude, I'm gonna keep that one in my mind because, dude, I feel strong about the Niners and the Bengals meeting up. And it took me a while to pick the 49ers out of the NFC. It took me about I don't know. It took me like about a month ago, and so like right before the playoffs started. When I got hot on the 49ers, but man, I've been hot on the Bengals ever since the beginning not beginning of the season, but like mid-October, mid-November. After the Bengals beat the Chiefs, I got hot on the Chiefs or the Bengals. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see how that game plays out if it's those two teams, dude. I'm hoping that the Bengals return the favor decades later.
Now, if that were to happen, let's just say if the Niners were to get back to the Super Bowl, obviously I would hate that because it'd be 2 weeks of talking about the 49ers. But if the Niners were to get back to the Super Bowl and lose to the Bengals, I would have to say it would be because they might get blown out because Purdy finally hits the wall. Like that to me would justify things like for the Bengals to blow out the Niners. But I just don't see that happening either, dude. Even if Purdy was to fall apart, I don't think they blow him out at all.
Okay, time for the
Well, let me
clowns
ask
of
you
the
this
week.
before anything happens, any of the games get finished up or whatever, or any matchups get actually lined up. Let's just go through all four teams matching up against each other in the Super Bowl. How would you feel about, let's see, the rematch of the Chiefs and the 49ers? Who would you pick in that one?
The Chiefs and 49ers rematch, as long as Mahomes is healthy, you saw what they did earlier in the year. I think the Chiefs would destroy him.
Time for the
Yeah,
clown of the
yeah.
year.
I would go with the Chiefs. I think I said that was a bad matchup for the Chiefs this time around, but honestly, if I had to put my money on it, I would probably. Man, no, I'm waffling on that one. I'm going to go with the 49ers on that one. I got to go 49ers on that one over the
Okay.
Chiefs because
49ers.
I think that the 49ers found themselves and Christian McCaffrey's been a part of the system for a while now, and they didn't have Brock Purdy playing back then, so I don't know. Well, I would go with the 49ers. You'd go with the Chiefs. All right, what about Chiefs versus Eagles? Who would you go in that one?
Eagles.
And again, this is before anything else happens, like an injury or anything like that. So this is just like a fun part, like aspects. James, who would you go in those in like those matchups? Basically, every team versus every team as we go down the line.
Well, I'd have to say the Chiefs. Uh, no, I'd have to say the Eagles would beat the Chiefs. I don't think they have the fast defense to catch up with the Eagles.
Yeah, I would go with the Eagles on that one too. So while the Chiefs are in for a long day, no matter what, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Well,
time
you
for
would
the
pick the Chiefs
clown
over the 49ers. So, all right, now let's go with Bengals versus the 49ers. You would go with, I'm just going to assume you're going to go with the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
I'm going with the Bengals as well. I think that they got too much. That's the most complete team, the most dangerous team right there. Everybody's all over the 49ers, how they're the best team. But I'm going with the Bengals. Like their options on offense. They even got what's the guy's name? Samari Pirine or whatever, the
hmm
backup running back. That could be a starter anywhere else.
Yeah, and James is going. He's going Frisco all the way over Cincinnati or KC.
Interesting, interesting. So that's the matchups right there, huh? We basically got all the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, we got the Bengals versus the Eagles.
Yeah. I'd see. Let's see. Bengals, Eagles.
Eagles.
That would be a fun one.
Yeah, that to me is my ideal Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If those teams take on each other, I'd have to go Cincy, but
Do you go
barely.
Cincy in that one? I would go with the Eagles in that one.
No, I think the Eagles would be underestimated all week. I think Sal Palantonio would be so far up Jalen Hurts' ass he could taste what he's eating, and then they'd be ESPN would be nonstop talking about freaking the Eagles, and then everyone would forget about because that's how they were last year. They were talking about the genius and the Rams. Everyone overlooked the Bengals, and the Bengals should have won that game.
As I used to say, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Shut up.
All right, man. So to refresh, my Super Bowl pick is going to be Bengals versus Eagles. What's your pick?
Bengals 49ers.
Bengals 49ers rematch of the 88 Super Bowl.
Time for the clown wig.
I don't know. I was thinking 86. Will you stop with a wig? All right. So
James, who are you going with, James?
I think James is going KC over Philadelphia.
Yeah.
KC over Philadelphia.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't go wrong with any of these games. Regardless, we're going to get a good Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think so. Except for the 49ers. I'm going to be dreading that.
Oh man, just I know that we're about to close the show out. Are you ready to close the show out or?
Yeah, the only other thing I was going to say, the reason why it'd be the same thing if the Packers were in the Super Bowl, bro. You don't want to hear about that for 2 weeks. You don't want to be hearing about all them stories that they bring up and all that crap. So that's how I am with the Niners. Like, I don't want to be hearing about McCaffrey's mom or his father or Brock Purdy again, them showing their I'm tired of them, dude. I'm tired of them.
I gotta ask you a question, and James, I'm asking both of you guys a question. Are you guys gonna I don't know if you guys are gonna have a watch party together or whatnot, but are you guys gonna actually spend time watching the pregame show, the 10.5 hour marathon of for the Super Bowl?
Fuck
Or they're
no.
gonna this team deserves a Super Bowl because of this. All these fans have been lined up for tickets for dude, they're gonna go into all these creative ideas like this is why this team deserves the Super Bowl. It's been about 50 years since this team's reached the Super Bowl. They're gonna wear white laces in their shoes.
or my favorite is this chicken has picked the last 7 Super Bowl winners. Which egg, if he picks, is going to be the winner?
Yeah. That's fun. Well, it's happening in Arizona, man. It's happening in Arizona. I can't wait to see what ticket pricings are if the 49ers do make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and see, the last time Seattle was there in that Super Bowl, we all know what happened there. So,
I don't know, you guys got blown out by Tom Brady.
I can't watch any pregame. Like, even when Seattle was in the Super Bowl, you would think I'd be – because the last one I watched like that was the Steelers Super Bowl, and they were just up Jerome Bennis's ass. And they hardly talked about the Seahawks in that Super Bowl. So I can't watch any of those because all it does, especially when my team was in it, makes me nervous, dude. I literally wait till they're doing the coin flip, I can't get into the game at all. I can't do the pregame. I don't even do that anymore. I don't watch Fox NFL Sunday. I don't watch the CBS morning show. I don't even watch NFL Network, dude. I wait till it's about 5 minutes till 10, and then I got the what is it called? The well, not no more, but I had the red zone ready, and then if the Seahawks were playing the early game, I had that one ready as well.
Yeah. Well, I gotta ask you and James, are you guys looking forward to Rihanna's halftime show?
Hell no.
At this point, I'm just trolling.
I'm waiting to see some transsexuals out there and it being woke as hell. So
I like last year's one. I don't like that. I'm not gonna like this one. Last year had a whole good one. This one is gonna suck.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know. It might be somebody. It might be your favorite musician coming out with Rihanna. You never know. They're gonna try and surprise people. I'm not sure.
I wish they brought rock bands.
Comes out there.
I wish they brought rock bands and stuff out, but like last year's was kind of like it's not fun anymore because you bring out like last year everyone's like, oh man, the Super Bowl the halftime show was so good. You had all those LA rappers and everything. Eminem was from Detroit. It didn't matter. Blah blah. You had 50 Cent. It's like, okay, yeah, it's cool and all, man, but they play like about maybe 15, 20 seconds of one song and move to the other. It to me it just comes out all trash. I mean, pick 3 songs and just rock the shit out of them, and play those like that. But they always go too much, and the halftime shows are super overrated to me, man.
I think what they should do is this is a great opportunity for like an up and coming artist from the local area or whatever, like even from the same coast, like Arizona or whatever, even if it's from like California or whatever, Texas, throw them in there. Like have Rihanna be the lead, and then have her do a little remix with a new artist, and then from there, let the new artist kind of take the last song, so that way everybody gets a feel for them, and it gives them exposure like that, and that'll be a great way because YouTube, everybody's gonna be wanting to watch the halftime show while that game is going on. It'll be about like 100 million views before the Super Bowl is over, so it'll be great exposure for any artist, like up and coming artists, to get that opportunity. And the NFL should definitely do something like that to help a young artist out. That
would make sense, but there has to be good young artist music out there, and I really don't see it. So all I'm saying,
right. Yeah, last year I was kind of excited about last year because it took me back to like the early 2000s with Dr. Dre, Snoop, and all them. But then I quickly got bored of it because I was like, man, I've heard this song about 1 million times, and I was more interested in seeing what they did with the whole entire city map on the floor. I was like, man, that's cool. As far as like the songs, the music, I wasn't really into it because I had heard those songs 1 million times.
Yeah. I mean, California Love is just the most played out song ever. But I'll just say this real quick. The last 3 halftime shows that I've watched all the way through, and it was the Bruno Mars one, I want to say last year's, and also the year before, which was the dude, he can't feel his face. What's his name? The Weeknd. Yeah. So those 3 I sat through, and I broke tradition because tradition for me during halftime is no matter who's at my house, whether we have a Super Bowl party or not, we usually go outside and we throw the football around till someone that likes the Super Bowl
somebody that has the barbecue going and has a TV on in the background.
Yeah, that's clapping a little bit. Yeah, when they say, hey, the game's about to start, then we run in. That's what we usually do. At halftime, we throw the football around, dude. Fuck the halftime show.
That's not what a real fan does. That's not what a hardcore fan does.
What was the other one? Not hardcore. What's the other one? The
casual.
No, it was the casual, the hardcore,
extreme.
Yeah. What was the soccer ones he was talking about?
Oh man. He was talking about the guys that you shouldn't mess with because it'll be a waste of time and things won't end. The ultras.
Yeah, the ultras.
He said, "What were the hooligans?" Didn't he?
Oh yeah, the hooligans. He's all, you don't want to be a hooligan.
Bless you.
Dude, what was the name of his podcast again?
The Trophy Room podcast, I want to say.
Oh, please say it's still up, man.
Is it over now?
Oh my gosh, I hope so. Because that if it is, oh yes, it's wait, hold on. The trophy room, a PlayStation podcast. Oh man, I don't think. What one was he on?
Um, I can't remember which one he was on. He was on one where you get 15 minutes to do an episode. Well, I can't remember what it was
Oh,
called,
I found
honestly.
it. I found it. It's here.
Yeah,
It's on Spreaker.
I think that's the one right there.
Do you remember the number of it?
No, today we're gonna cover fans.
Oh, that's awesome because that's what everyone was waiting for was when are you going to get to the podcast about the fans?
We should do a reaction to that one for next week after we do the reaction after we do the recap of these games next week because we're gonna have 2 weeks to wait for the Super Bowl, so we should do a reaction to that podcast.
We should. And I hope he didn't delete it, dude.
There's a chance that he possibly did.
Oh no, here it is. It's episode 8. Sports fans fall into categories. Which ones are you? There's one comment. It says SkullTube 19. Love this episode.
Back to the Fortnite Battle Pass.
Doesn't he like burp halfway through it?
Yeah. You're like, excuse me.
Oh man, that's awesome. All right, dude. So that's we come to the end of the episode. We'll see who's right and who's wrong, and we'll recap it next week.
Yep. So again, before we go, Bengals 49ers is my pick. You're going Eagles, Bengals, right?
Yep.
You're going so Bengals regardless for me and you. I hear it.
Go ahead.
And then I was gonna ask Walt who he's picking.
Who are you picking?
Huh?
Who are you picking?
I'm picking the mother 49ers.
Niners.
And also
And
Bagels.
And then James said he's going with Kansas City to win over Philadelphia.
Yep.
Several aspects of the
It's not like the
sports
Seahawks made it.
fans and stuff. All right, first, people that aren't into sports have to realize, okay, like you have different levels of sports fans, okay? Like you have the people that just this is a tiny percentage of sports fans, maybe like 2 or 3%.
Of
People
25.
that just pretend to like
When
sports
is this over?
so they can fit in. All right, these are like girls that want to impress a boy or something. So they'll like buy a jersey or they'll like sit and watch the game or whatever. You know, this is like the posers, okay? We'll call them posers because they're posing. Like they don't really like sports. They could care less what happens, all right? Okay, so but that's a tiny percentage because most people won't even invest that. If they don't like sports, they
We'll get more into that one.
Definitely. We should definitely do a breakdown of that one where we pause it and we go over it and me and you do a full recap of that episode. It's like 15 minutes long, isn't it?
It's only 15 minutes long, but his math is great in that episode. You know, 34% of the 50% of the 26% of fans are 100% on board with things.
Yeah. That's something that you guys will look forward to. You guys should look forward to that one right there. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's very good. All right, brother. Well, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, definitely. You guys all have a good night. And regardless of who wins, enjoy these games because believe it or not, after Sunday we only have one more football game that's going to mean anything. It's going to mean all the marbles and all that. And after that, we just got the draft to look forward to. So enjoy it.
No. Then we have what's it called? What's that football league?
Oh, the USFL,
We have
XFL.
the USFL, and ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
this
I
is the
kinda,
XFL.
yeah. I kind of got into USFL. I kind of got into it, man. There was the Pittsburgh team. The Pittsburgh team, they had a guy named Walker that was making phenomenal plays last year, man. So I mean, it's not as good. It'll never be as good as the NFL, but there'll be some highlights here and there. And
Yeah,
those guys that eventually, like if they keep their work up, they make the rosters in the NFL.
yeah, I think it's pretty good. The XFL wasn't this time around wasn't that bad either. Until COVID kind of killed it. They were doing pretty good too. So we'll see what happens. It'll give us something to watch because I'm definitely not going to be watching the NBA. That'll carry me over into baseball, I think. Watching those leagues. So
Yeah, definitely, man.
yep. All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right, James, have a good night. Walt, Todd, everybody, have a good night.
You too.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Not bad.
Kill me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: we got 7 subscribers.